Yes, I'm Doug Compton. I'm from Buffalo, Oklahoma. I'm I guess a watercolor artist is what I prefer. I teach school part-time at Laverne, Oklahoma. Teach 4 hours a day, and then I have the other half of the day to work on the projects that I want to work on. If my wife doesn't have a project, so I've got a lot more artwork completed in the last few years than I have really all my life, because I was trying to get my family raised, you know, and make a living, and didn't have time to work on art. People would see something I'd done, and they'd say, "What in the world are you working at this for? Why aren't you making a living at art?" I'd say, "Well, what would you give me for this?" I don't know. I said, "Would you give it to $2,500? Oh, no, I couldn't give that. Well, I said, "That's why I'm not making a living at art." You know, it's, you got to, I don't know if you can make enough money at the hours you put in some of this stuff. They don't realize, you know, that everybody works for an hourly wage, but if an artist charged by the hour for what he does, it'd be pretty expensive on most stuff. So that wasn't what I made a living at all my life. I worked in various things, started out cowboying and eventually wound up in the lumberyard business, and then I bought my own lumberyard and ran that for years, and business kind of got bad, and I went into the Department of Corrections, which I never saw that coming, but it turned out to be all right. And now that I'm semi-retired, I've had time to work at my art, and I do some commission work and things like that. People ask me to paint, you know, a horse or something for them, a dog. I've done a little bit of that for a fella here in Alva, so that's what I enjoy doing. And I've got a painting I'm working on now of horses. It's a string of broncs, rodeo horses. They wanted a painting of all these horses, and it's kind of been a struggle. When I went to check the horses and get some information and do some photographs and sketches, well, they're pasturing them on wheat, and it's pretty hard to get a good composition when they're all standing out there on a green carpet, and makes for a boring painting. So I've been trying to get the composition worked out where, you know, it'll be an interesting painting, and hopefully they'll like it. We'll just have to see what the end product looks like. But that's what I'm working on right now. And I've got the kids in school. We like to kind of get them interested enough that they want to go to a show or so. And they have the Paul Lawn show at Woodward for high school and school age kids, and we went to that a year ago. They allowed us to take 35 entries, and it's a juror show, so we didn't know how it was going to come out. And out of the 35 entries, we had 19 chosen, which I thought that was pretty good for a group of high school kids. And, but that's what I enjoy teaching the kids. You know, it's a lot of fun, and what makes it interesting is when they ask questions and they're interested in it. That's what I enjoy, is helping them out when they ask for help. You know, try to show them, and that kind of makes your day.